You're really going to be surprised at what we're going to talk about now, the amount of food waste in Rhode Island and how efforts to prevent that kind of waste are kind of limited so far, I think, despite everybody's best intention. Mark Murphy is the editor of the Providence Business News. The current edition of the newspaper has a cover story on this. Food waste ban isn't working yet. I guess we should begin by explaining what the food waste ban is.
Well, it's not eliminating food waste, but it's diverting it from the Central Landfill. So the estimates are about 10% of the trash or waste going to the Central Landfill is food waste, is organic food waste. And with the landfill sort of expected to fill up by 2034, 10%, it might extend the life of it before having to find and permit another landfill. So the idea is divert it and then convert it into other things. Oftentimes that's into energy.
Or compost or something like that.
It could be compost, right. Exactly.
Yeah, well that's rather than just dump wasted food in the landfill, let's put it to use.
Right, and so, go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's apparently just one place in Rhode Island now where this is being done on somewhat of a limited basis, and that's a company in Charlestown.
Yes, and what's interesting about the law is it says if you produce more than 104 tons of food waste in a year, and those are cafeterias and restaurants and institutions that serve food, you need to take it to an authorized spot for recycling. And this farm in Charlestown gets a certain amount of that. But the caveat with the law is it says you're required to do it only if you're within 15 miles of an authorized facility.
Oh my.
So, well, that farm in Charlestown isn't within 15 miles of a whole lot of places.
Right.
And so the other opportunity, in theory, is what they call an anaerobic digester. So it uses enzymes to break down food waste and create natural gas to create electricity. And that's at the Central Landfill. The only problem is they started building it in 2015. They licensed it in November of 2017, but it really doesn't work. Oh. So right now it's sort of sitting there. They're retrofitting it, and so people are really sort of still stuck dumping food waste into the Central Landfill, into trash.
I know a lot of people in our Facebook Live audience are saying, oh yeah, another state of Rhode Island project that isn't going well. Is that an accurate way of saying it? What's the problem?
I think so. It's sort of odd because when we looked a little deeper into it and we asked, well, why is that? Well, they're not really functioning well in the cold weather. And so we said, okay, so there was a contract, an RFP and a contract given out to a company that produces an anaerobic digester. Now, they're based in North Carolina, and it's used in other states, but apparently they didn't factor in just how cold the winters in Rhode Island could be. Oh so they're working at it, they're testing, they're retrofitting, and so it's functioning now on a very limited basis, not really accepting commercial grade, commercial size loads.
You're going to be surprised at how much food waste there is. The statistics are astounding in this article. There's also a lot more about what appears to be, with limited success, the operation in Charlestown, which is called Earth Care Farm.
Yes.
It's all included in the current edition of the Providence Business News, in print and online. And Mark Murphy, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Frank.